All right, story time. Once upon a time, there was a legal team using a generic AI for some research, and it was amazing. It gave them perfect precedents, case law that was just spot on. The only problem was none of it was real. Not a single case existed. Okay, study buddy, time to level up. Let's dig in.
So, what happened to that legal team? Well, they ran straight into a classic AI problem. I like to call the confident guesser. And you really got to wrap your head around this. See, an AI doesn't lie, not like a person does. It can't. What it does do is guess. And it guesses with this unbelievable and sometimes totally misleading confidence.
And look, this isn't just some funny story to tell. This is a huge, serious problem that professionals everywhere are dealing with. It creates this massive gap between what we think an AI should do and what it actually does. So let's break down what that gap really looks like. This whole thing creates what we call the trust gap. I mean, think about it. If the AI can sound so right but be so shockingly wrong, how can you ever really trust it for important work? You can't. And that hesitation, that lack of trust, it hits the bottom line hard. Just how big of an impact are we talking about here? Get this. Some studies show that almost 80%, that's 8 out of 10 companies, aren't seeing a real return on their big AI investments. And why is that? It's mostly because of this trust gap. I mean, the potential is absolutely massive. But if your team is spending all day just double-checking everything the AI spits out, you're not actually gaining any efficiency. You're just moving the work around. Okay, so if we're going to solve this, we first have to understand why it's happening. And this is key. This isn't some bug that developers can just patch up. Nope, it's a core feature of how these models are designed from the ground up. So let's pop the hood and take a look inside this prediction engine.
All right, if you remember one thing from this, make it this. A large language model is not a database of facts. It's not a library. It is not looking things up. At its very core, it's a word prediction engine. Its whole job, its entire reason for being, is to guess the single most probable word to come next in a sentence.
So how does it actually do that? It's really just a simple 3-step dance. 1, it looks at your prompt. 2, it calculates the odds for every single word it knows that could possibly come next. It's like a massive instant poll. And 3, it just picks the winner, the word with the highest probability, and slaps it onto the end of the sentence. Then it does it all over again for the next word, and the next. That's literally it. Now, this whole process of just predicting the next word, it creates this huge internal conflict for the AI. It's like a constant battle is raging between two very different goals. And if you can understand this battle, you'll understand exactly why AI hallucinates. And this is where we see the AI's default setting. It is hardwired from day one to choose what sounds plausible over what is actually factual. It's not asking itself, is this a verifiable fact? It's asking, what would a human most likely say next in this situation based on all the books and websites I've read? And trust me, those are two wildly different questions. You know, I absolutely love this analogy. Think of an LLM as a world-class improv comedian, right? You're in the audience, you shut out a weird suggestion. Is the actor going to stop the show and say, actually, that doesn't make any sense? No way. They're going to roll with it. They'll confidently make something up on the spot just to keep the scene going. And that is exactly what an AI does when it hits a gap in its knowledge. It just improvises. Okay, so the problem is pretty clear, right? But the good news is, now that we understand the why, we can build a solution. And the answer isn't to just throw the AI out the window. It's about fundamentally changing how we interact with it. It's about putting you back in the driver's seat. And that solution is what we call an agentic workflow. It's a total shift in mindset. Instead of just passively taking whatever the AI gives you, you become an active participant. You're no longer just the audience watching that improv show. You're the director. You get to set the scene, give the notes, and install the guardrails. So how do you actually do that? Well, you use tools that are built for this. Tools that add those guardrails for you. Take NotebookLM, for example. It forces the AI to ground every single answer in the source documents you give it, nothing else. And it gives you inline citations for every claim it makes, which means you can check its work in like 2 seconds. It's super easy. Verification. So you see, we don't have to give up on this incredibly powerful technology just because of that trust gap. We just need to be smarter about how we use it. It really all boils down to a classic, time-tested idea for dealing with any powerful, but maybe not so perfect system.
All right, it's time to level up. Here's your mission, should you choose to accept it. Go to NotebookLM, and I want you to give it this exact prompt. Create 3 examples of common AI hallucinations in my industry and explain the specific probabilistic logic error that caused them. Go on, put it to the test, see what it can do. At the end of the day, the takeaway is simple. Trust but verify. The power here is absolutely immense, but only if we use it with purpose and with control. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Study Buddy with NotebookLM. And remember, stay agenic.